So on our backs or on our sides, coming into that comfortable position. See if you can start to connect and just kind of settle into the space that you're in. Arrive into your practice and into your body and your breath. That might be staying exactly how you are. Maybe taking one hand to heart, one to belly, or maybe taking one hand to baby, just starting to connect. Scanning from the crown of the head down to the toes. And from the toes all the way up through the crown of the head. If you haven't already, start to turn to your breath. So taking deep inhales through the nose and slow exhales out. As you inhale, belly rises and chest rises. And as you exhale, slowly start to push the breath out. Take 3 more cycles of breath at your own pace, matching your inhales with your exhales. And after your last cycle of breath, we're slowly going to transition onto our sides, either one. And starting with some gentle shoulder and chest opening, take that bottom arm and place your head on your bicep and extend it out to like a T shape. And then from here, your top hand will rest on top of the bottom. On your next inhale, slowly start to open up. And then exhale, start to close. Inhale, open up. Arms go out to a T. Top shoulder rolls back. And exhale, start to close. Take a couple more rounds on your own. And this is where you might start to hold or pause when you open, or vice versa. Take one more. And then we're meeting with palm on top of palm. And start to take circles with that top arm. So you'll go back, up, and around. And all the way down, maybe you touch your top thigh. And the top hand will place on top of bottom. Keep going with those circles. Just allowing movement of the shoulder, the arm. You'll take one more of those. And then gently start to come back with palm on top of palm. As you're ready, slowly start to come onto the back. And however you want to, transitioning to that next side. So whichever side you didn't do, you'll slowly take bicep as you reach your arm out to a T, and let your head rest on bicep. Top hand presses on top of bottom. Then you'll open up, feeling that opening through your chest. Exhale to close. And inhale to open. Keep moving at your own pace. You'll take 2 more on your own. Then you'll come back to that starting position with top hand on top of bottom. Start to take those circles, reaching up, back, and going all the way around, almost like a clock or a sundial. You'll take 2 or 3 more of them on your own. And you'll slowly start to meet at our starting point. And then slowly take top hand to press down into the ground. We'll come up to our seated position at the top of our mats or on our mats. From here, bring your hands to heart center, press your thumbs towards your heart space. And if you choose, set your intention or dedication for your practice this morning. And we'll open our session with one collective breath together, inhaling. And open mouth. Slowly starting to blink your eyes open if they've closed. Clasping the hands and taking them behind the head. Lift up through the sternum and the rib cage and slowly take right elbow down towards right hip. Left arm reaches up or left elbow up. Come back through to center, inhale. And exhale, left elbow down, right elbow reaches up. Take a few more on your own, feeling that length through each side body as you rotate. Maybe you see if you can roll the top elbow back a little bit more to open through the side body. You'll take 1 more on each side. And we'll come back to this neutral position. Roll the elbows back, lift up through the sternum, hold here, squeeze your shoulders together for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release. Clasp the hands behind the back, press your wrist creases together, squeeze your shoulders together. Press knuckles down, take a full breath in. And a full exhale out. Slowly start to release and tuck your chin to your chin to chest, and take left ear towards left shoulder. Slowly start to come back through to center and take your right ear to right shoulder. Nice. Inhale, come back through to center and keep going at your own pace. You might hold on one side a little bit more. Take 1 more on each side and we'll meet back into the center with our chin tucked towards our chest. Clasping the hands, gently press down and feel that gentle stretch through the back of your neck. Take a full breath in and a full exhale out. Slowly start to release the hands down. And then from here, just doing a little bit of breath work to start class. So moving through breath work to engage through our pelvic floor. If you're thinking about pelvic floor, as you exhale, pelvic floor starts to lift up and in. And as you inhale, it lowers down and releases. So imagine like there's a blueberry or something right underneath your sit bones, releasing shoulders down the back. One regular cycle of breath, inhale and exhale. Inhale. And then as you exhale, pick blueberry up from ground floor to first floor. Inhale, slowly lower blueberry down to ground floor. Exhale, lift blueberry up from ground floor, first floor, second. As you inhale, slowly lower it down. Exhale, lift blueberry up, ground floor, first floor, second, third. And as you inhale, slowly lower down, second floor, first floor, ground floor. Keep continuing your breath on your own, imagining or visualizing that blueberry moving up and down with the pelvic floor with each inhale and each exhale. Take 3 more cycles on your own. We'll come back to that smooth, steady breath. If the eyes were closed, slowly start to blink them open. Maybe you roll head, neck, or shoulders. And we'll slowly roll over onto all fours, tabletop position, hands and knees, stacking shoulders over our wrists and hips directly over the knees. From here, start with a couple of cat-cows. So on an inhale, drop belly, lift gaze. And then as you exhale, round through the spine, chin to chest for your cat. Inhale to drop belly, lift gaze. And round through the spine, chin to chest for cat. So if you want to, we could also add in some other movements. So as you come into like your knees together and feet out, you can push the ground away. And as you inhale, bring the feet back together as you squeeze shoulders together and come into your cow. This opening with the knees close together and opening through the feet, this widens through your pelvis to create more space and opens up through the sit bones. And as you bring your feet together, that closes that gap in the pelvis or creates less space. Take a couple more rounds on your own. And then maybe you start with some other movements. So moving forwards, back, making circles, or moving just forwards and backwards, whatever feels intuitive in the body. Take a couple more rounds. And then we'll come back to this neutral tabletop position. So getting into some wrist and finger stretching. Take the fingers out to the sides towards the side of your mats. Yep. And then you're gently going to rock from side to side. And then you can do this one at a time, or you can do both hands at the same time. Take fingertips towards the knees, and you'll gently kind of rock forwards and backwards. As you rock backwards, hips towards heels, you're going to feel that stretch through here. Maybe you pause as you lean back or as you go forward. And then my personal favorite, you can do this one at a time or both. Take palm up towards chest and gently roll back and forth. Slowly start to sink back towards the heels. Sit back. You can kind of roll the wrists, maybe move the fingers, head, neck, shoulder rolls. And then when you're ready, we'll meet in our downward facing dog. Alternatively, you can always stay in this tabletop position, or you can push back into your downward facing dog. If you want to create more space, you can always walk your feet out a little bit wider. Yeah, nice. And take a slight bend in your knees. On your next inhale, lift up onto your tippy toes. And exhale, let the heels fall back. So you should feel this in the backs of the legs and your calves. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, heels fall back. 2 more times. Inhale to lift up, tippy toes. Exhale, heels back. Last time, inhale. Exhale, heels press back. Slowly, as you're ready, start to let your feet and your hands meet one another. That could be at the center of your mat or top of your mat. And grab opposite elbows, giving yourself some space. So that might be feet, hips width distance or even more. Grab opposite elbows, ragdoll, sway from side to side. Shake your head yes or no, unhinging the jaw. Releasing the hands down to the ground. Slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time until you come up to standing in your Tadasana at the top of your mat. So as you're ready, start to take feet hips width distance apart. Knees are pointed forward and sink down into your hips, reaching arms forward into this squat. From here, bring palms together and thumbs and index fingers reaching forward. Hold here for 3, 2. On 1, shift the weight into that right foot. Pick left foot up. Hold here for 3. Maybe that left toe stays down. 2. On 1, take a big step back, coming into your high crescent lunge, so you can adjust as needed. Nice. Inhale, reach the arms up, high crescent lunge. Sink down into your hips. Maybe you heel toe right foot up and out so you're on train tracks. And on the exhale, goal post the arms, squeeze your shoulders together. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, goal post the arms. Last one, inhale, reach up. Exhale, goal post the arms. Inhale, reach up. And exhale out to your warrior 2 and open up the arms. Nice. From here, inhale, flip right palm and reverse your warrior, reach back. Keep reaching back and straighten through that front leg. So we're coming into this reverse like triangle pose. Lift up and out through that right hip crease. And then your arms go out to a T. Pin your left hip back as you reach forward, forward, forward. Right hand drops, left arm reaches up. You can stay here, reach both arms overhead like you're holding a beach ball. This will bring it into your core for 3, 2, on 1, left arm brings you back up to standing. Hands to your waistline, big step up, shorten and widen your stance so there's an alleyway. See if you can press up onto that heel. Yep, and flex the toes towards your face. And then from here, start to tip your torso forward. Leaning back. And you can kind of, as long as this doesn't create any sort of like nausea or like dizziness, you could add in movement where you stand up and hinge. And then you'll slowly start to plant that right toes back, the right toes back down, and maybe add in that movement. Last one. And then from here, slowly start to walk that left foot back once more. I'm going to turn this way actually. And then spin the right toes parallel. So we're in this wide-legged position. From here, reach the arms up. And on the exhale, start to forward fold. So as you forward fold, hands can come down to the ground. Yep. Hands could come to blocks as well if you have them. And allow your neck and head to be heavy as long as this doesn't bring any dizziness. See if you can press into the outer edges of your feet, feeling the inner thighs spiral towards one another. Slowly start to come back up. Hands to your waistline. Pinch the heels in, toes are out, and drop into our goddess pose. Hands can come to the thighs, and you can kind of rock from side to side, staying in your hips. And then from here, arms go out to goal pose. Slowly start to reach up as you exhale. And inhale to bend. Yep. Exhale, open. And reach up. And slowly start to release as you inhale. Take a couple more on your own. And what I want you to do is focus on your glutes and the tops of the legs. Lisa, for you, I want you to focus on knitting up and in. Take one more, and we're going to meet in that goddess pose, bending into the knees with our arms at goal pose. From here, straight through the front legs, hands to your waist, and then turn the right toes forward, rebend into that front leg for warrior 2. Yep. Inhale, flip right palm, reverse your warrior, reach back. And then slowly, as much as you want to, we are going to come back into that high crescent lunge, right back to where we started. Reach the arms forward. palms together, thumbs and index fingers to touch. Shift the torso forward. Reaching forward, come into your balancing pose. Lift the left leg up. Hold here for 3, 2, and 1. Let your left foot meet the right, top of the mat. Heel to the feet, hips width distance apart. Maybe you grab opposite elbows, or you can just forward fold, allowing everything to kind of settle in. First round of our Malasana Yogi squat. You're going to pinch your heels in, toes out, and drop into a squat. So if you're looking to open up through backs of the legs and through like calves, what I want you to do is focus on shifting the weight from side to side. And as you shift that weight into, let's say, your left foot, kind of press that left heel down as you're on your left toes. Do you feel that? And then you'll move to the right side and kind of press down, and you should feel that lengthening a little bit through the back of the calf on the opposite side. From here, slowly start to come back into that yogi squat at the front. You'll start to forward fold, heel to the feet a little bit wider than hips width distance. Dropping into that squat once more, reach the arms forward, index fingers, thumbs to touch. Shift the weight into that left foot. And then pick that right foot up or let that right toe press into the ground. Yep. And then when you're ready, take a big step back where we meet in our high crescent lunge. Settling in. Take a full breath in. On the exhale, goalpost the arms, squeeze shoulders together. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, goalpost the arms. Last one, inhale, reach up. Goalposting the arms, squeeze shoulders together. Inhale, reach up. And exhale out to your warrior two. Fin, open up the arms. Find space from heel to heel and bend into that front leg. Inhale, fold left palm, reverse your warrior, reach back. And as you reach back, start to straighten through that front leg. Keep reaching back. And arms go out to a T. Pin your right hip back, start to reach forward, 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 coming into your triangle pose. You can stay here, or you can bring this into your obliques by reaching both arms overhead for 3, 2, on 1, right arm brings you back up to standing. Take the hands to your waist, and then take a big step up, shorten and widen your stance. So from here, toes are pointed, left toes are pointed forward. The right toes are at about a 45-degree angle, and you can lift maybe left toes up, hands to your waist, and start to lean forward, hinging. You should feel that stretch as you hinge. And then you can slowly start to come up, and maybe you add in, as you bend forward and hinge, lift toes up towards left shin. And as you straighten and come up, press left toes down. If this brings any dizziness or nausea, you can always just hold in stillness at the top and maybe just do the foot movement. And then from here, you'll slowly start to come up, press the right toes down. Beautiful. Stepping back into that high crescent lunge. And then we exhale out to our warrior two. Straighten through the front leg and turn the left toes parallel to the front edge of your mat. Interlace fingers at the back, punching the knuckles down, deep breath in. Squeezing shoulders together, start to forward fold. Yeah, you can use a strap or anything else that you'd like. Letting the neck and head be heavy. Keep staying in your legs. And then you'll slowly start to come back up. Nice, everyone. Turn the toes out, heels in. You can stay in this wide-legged position, dropping into the hips. And from here, hands to the thighs and start to take right elbow dip or right shoulder, dip it down. And inhale, come back through to center. Exhale, left shoulder towards the ground. Continue with this movement at your own pace. And then we'll slowly start to come back into that goddess pose. Bend into your elbows. And then from here, left elbow as light as it can be, or it's hovering, right arm reaches overhead. Come back through to center, goddess arms, and right forearm hovers or comes to right thigh, left arm reaches up. If you're letting that elbow hover, be really light. This is great oblique work. Side abdominals. Take one more on each side. And then slowly start to turn the left toes forward. And we're coming back into that high crescent lunge. So as you're ready, start to take those arms forward, palms together, thumbs and index fingers to touch. Tip your torso forward. Lift that right leg up, coming into your standing balance for 3, 2, and 1. Right foot meets the left, top of the mat. You can hang out in ragdoll, maybe sway from side to side. Shake your head yes or no. Unhinge the jaw, let everything go. Slowly start to take the toes out and bring heels in, dropping into a squat once more. So options, you could stay in stillness, or if you want to still focus on like backs of calves, ankles, you'll shift from side to side, dropping that heel down as you come onto the left toes. You'll drop that right heel down to feel that stretch. And then you'll switch sides, lifting right heel up, pressing into the toes, and then gently press that right heel down. Take a couple more on your own. And I know this is uncomfortable. And then you're slowly going to press the hands down. Step back into a tabletop position onto all fours. Taking the knees out a little bit wider to give yourself some space. I'm going to walk back. And then we're coming into a puppy dog pose. So you're walking your arms forward as the hips stay up, dropping forehead down. And this is a really big shoulder, chest, upper back stretch. It's great for pre or postnatal. We'll be here for about 8 more breaths. See if you can breathe into the backs of the shoulders and into the hips. Slowly start to walk the hands back, coming up, and you can sit back onto the heels, maybe taking a couple of neck or shoulder rolls, anything that you need. And then we're going to come up onto our shins. And then from here, I'm going to turn sideways, but you'll tuck your toes under. And then as you move forward, that will take pressure off. If you move back and sit heels or sit bones back towards heels, you're going to feel more of that stretch through the toes, through the arches. You could also just stay in stillness. Take about 6 more breaths wherever you are. And then we're slowly going to release, untucking the toes. You can kind of knock the shoelace sides of the feet down. Sit back onto the heels. Hands will come to the back, like low back, rolling the shoulders back, and I'll demonstrate this. We're going to exhale and lift up. Squeeze your glutes, and then inhale to lower down. Exhale to lift up, and inhale to lower. We'll do this a couple more times, or you could stay up at the top. Squeeze your glutes. Imagine like you have a block in between your legs. You'll feel the inner thighs and the outer hips work. And as you inhale, you can lower down. Last round. And then we'll slowly start to meet down onto the heels, and you can kind of like rock from side to side. We'll come onto all fours into a tabletop position. And while our legs are still warmed up from our tabletop position, knees as wide as hips, hands stack underneath shoulders. You're going to tuck your toes under. Take an inhale. And then exhale. Lift knees and shins off of the ground. Hover here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come down. We'll do that 2 more times. Take an inhale. Exhale, push. Bring baby up towards heart space or belly in. Lift knees and shins off of the ground. Hover here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come down. Last one. So there's this like, look at my belly as I inhale. I release it. And then as I exhale, I pull everything in and like through the center or baby up towards heart space. Push the ground away. Lift knees and shins off of the ground. Hover here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come down. Knees come down. You can take hips from side to side, or maybe push back into a really wide-legged child's pose. Take anything that you need. Take a couple of breaths to come back to your breath. Then we'll come into our tabletop position onto all fours. Then you'll slowly start to come into a lizard pose on the right side. Hands inside of right foot. Right foot as wide as the mat. The left knee can stay down, or you can like tuck toes under to lift up. You're going to shift from side to side or take circles. Then you'll slowly start to come back to stillness. Walking that right foot towards the center, coming into a low lunge. And you can kind of work this forwards and then maybe straighten. If you want to take hands down, you can, or hands to blocks. Take a couple more rounds. And then from here, slowly start to rebend into that front leg. Hands will come down, take the right knee back, tabletop position. Take one round of cat-cow. And then we'll take that left foot to the outside of that left pinky for your lizard pose. Hands inside of left foot, and you can start to take those like cement roll kind of like movements or anything else that feels good. Then slowly start to come up. Heel toe that left foot towards the center. You can start to add in that movement, shifting forwards and back into your half splits, maybe using hands as guides. Take 3 more rounds of breath wherever you are. Then you'll slowly start to rebend into that front leg. Hands come down, come into your tabletop position. 1 round of cat-cow. Then slowly start to come up onto one side, taking both legs out in front. So depending on how you want to do this, feet can be a little bit wider to create that space as we reach forward, or legs can be together. As you reach forward, see if you can lift up through your chest, keeping your collarbones broad. A strap is great here, something that you can like loop around the feet as well, like a sweatshirt or anything else that you'd like. And then slowly start to release that. From here, take your legs out a little bit wider into like a V shape. Toes are still pointed up, and you're going to reach the hands to the outside of your right foot. Gently press your left thigh bone down. You should feel this stretch through the left side of the body. And your right hand can stay around your right foot. And if you want to bring this into the shoulders or opening through the chest, take your left hand behind the head and gently roll back. Slowly start to come back up. And then your arms will walk, or hands will walk to the outside of your left foot, maybe the calf or the ankle. And then gently roll your top shoulder back as you press your right thigh down. Right hand can come behind the head to gently, and you should feel this stretch through this right back, like hip sort of area through the side body. Slowly start to come back through to center. Both hands will come around ankles or calves and gently lean forward. Toes are still pointed up and they're flexed towards the shins to keep the legs engaged. Softening shoulders down the back, full breath in. And a full exhale out. Slowly start to come back up. And then from here, start to, for Tori, you're going to keep your feet straight on the ground, feet a little bit wider, arms pointed forward just like this. Does that feel okay? And then Lisa, you can lift up into your boat pose with lifting feet up. Holding here, as you exhale, feel navel towards spine or baby up towards heart space. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come down. Hug knees in towards chest, or just kind of feel that low back and low sit bones press down. And then we're coming back into that, so creating that space as needed. Holding arms, lifting up through the low back. Exhale. And then Lisa, you can lift your legs up, holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come down. You can kind of take the legs from side to side or rock from side to side. And then bring your soles of your feet to touch, knees drape open wide for butterfly pose. Hands can come to the ankles or maybe around the feet, sitting up tall. And then start to forward fold, round your forehead towards your feet. You might use your elbows to press into your inner thighs to open up. Then slowly start to come back up. As you're ready, we're going to make our way onto our backs for, let's say, 3 bridge poses. So we're going to come onto our sides or all the way onto our backs. Make sure your feet are about hips width distance apart. And you can graze your heels with your fingertips. Knees pointed up, exhale all the air out. And press down, and then lift pelvis and hips up. Hold here for 5, 4, feel the tops of the legs engage. 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come down. Setting up for our second of 3 rounds. Exhale all the air out. Press down to rise up. This one will be for 6, 5. Squeeze your glutes. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come down. And setting up for a third and final round. Exhale all the air out. Feel the glutes engage as you exhale. Press down to lift up for 8, 7, 6, 5. Lift up a little bit higher if you can and it feels okay. 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come down. Windshield wiper legs back and forth to release the low back. Maybe you come into a happy baby, sliding hands to the outsides of the calves or the ankles as you pull down gently, knees towards armpits, and rock from side to side. Setting up for a hip opener. Slowly start to cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Then reach through, catching onto the belly of your left thigh or your left shin, either one. Yeah, you could bring some movement into your left ankle by rolling it as you're in stillness, or you can keep it as is. 5 more breaths. And slowly start to hug both knees towards the chest, resetting. And crossing left ankle over right thigh, whichever side you haven't done, reaching through. Allowing your breath to come back to that smooth, steady pace. You could stay in stillness or take circles with that right ankle clockwise or counterclockwise. Take 6 more breaths. And slowly start to hug both knees towards the chest, rocking from side to side. Take any last movements that you'd like. That could be a reclined butterfly pose or a happy baby. If it feels comfortable in your body still, maybe a spinal twist on each side. And at your own pace, we are going to meet either on our backs or on our sides in any position that feels comfortable for your final resting pose. So we'll be here for a couple minutes, about 2 minutes. So finding a comfy way to set up for the remainder of class. For your very well-earned rest. Closing the eyes or softening the gaze over the tip of your nose. Tracing your breath as you inhale. And tracing your breath as you exhale out. Slowly start to deepen your inhales and lengthen through your exhales. Bring easy movement back into the body, wiggling fingertips or toes, taking the head from side to side. Full body stretch, reach the arms overhead. And slowly start to gather knees towards chest. If you're not already on your side, rolling over to one side. And slowly press up to your seated position. Eyes can be closed or soften the gaze. Reach the arms overhead, bringing hands together into heart center. Closing class with one breath together. Take a deep breath in. Open mouth. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me and one another this morning. Have a great rest of your Sunday.